Hi, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I had to take a break. Happy Tuesday. It's good to be back. How's everyone doing? 𝒂𝒐𝒓𝒌𝒊𝒂𝒏𝒕. Hello, Miss Endless Sanctuary. How are you? My eyes are not cooperating with me tonight, so let me just respect myself. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Miss Pascal. Hello, Miss Abimbola. How are you? I am good. Miss Emily Sanctuary, I hope you had a wonderful birthday. I missed y'all too. Sweetest Rita, happy Tuesday to you as well. That's okay, Pascal. That's fine too. I'm well, Miss Jasmine. How are you? Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. We took a break last week because I had to go get some more immigration knowledge, so which is always important. Thank you. I hope you all had a wonderful 2 weeks, right? No, a week and a half. 𝒂𝒏𝒕 now. But it was good. Chicago was fun. I mean, because I lived in Chicago for 3 years, so I completely usually forget how fun that city is until you go back there. Hello, Miss Abena. How are you? Hello. Come on, come on in. Come on in. Say hello. Anyway, if you're just joining us for the first time, welcome in. This is Attorney Abisola Adebola Olale. I hope all you wonderful fathers had a wonderful Father's Day. Just know that you're appreciated, you're loved, you are seen, because a lot of people, mama's doing a lot of stuff, truth be told, but you're seen, you're appreciated. So I hope you've all felt celebrated on Sunday, and not just on one day, but every day of your life. As long as you are, there's dad and there's father. But anyway, if you're just joining us for the first time, we do this Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we talk all things immigration. We encourage one another. We celebrate one another. And, we just keep going. As long as there's breath, there's life, you're just going to keep going. So it was a good welcome coming back and seeing a whole lot of work permits and approval notices and green card. Nothing like it. So, and unfortunately, we had one case tonight. So we just keep going. Celebrate it, and then we're not defeated. We just, what's the word I'm looking for? Put out, gather ourselves and say, hey, what's the next line of action? That's how my brain works. But anyway, welcome in. Please share, follow, like, subscribe, YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at Olale Immigration. So you just never know who's going to be listening, who's going to benefit. I tell you, every single day we get people emailing, texting like, y'all don't know how much your information actually blesses people. So that's the whole goal. So please share, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I think with this whole lot, hello, Miss Peggy. There's a whole lot of information that can be very, very useful to everybody. So let's talk immigration. Y'all already know what we're going to talk about. So let's not pretend. You already know. You already know. Because unless you're living under a rock or you're living in water, even if you're living under a rock or water, you already know what we're going to talk about. So let's get right to it. The whole thing that is buzzing all over the country, not just immigration world, all over the country, that Biden's immigration policy. What is it? Let's break it down so we can understand. Exactly, right? We can understand. So it's a good thing to come back and talk. Hello, Mr. Kelvin. Mr. Kelvin is the latest citizen. Y'all help me congratulate Clayton, brother. Oh, Lord Jesus. If I could survive Mr. Kelvin, I can survive anybody. But congratulations, Mr. Kelvin. This is the first time we've communicated, but this is the first time you're joining the show as a new citizen. Mr. Kelvin is a new citizen. Woohoo! Hello, Finance Shandy. We started his immigration process journey together. Obviously I can tell, but it was rough. But I thank you, Mr. Kelvin, for trusting me through the process. Going from the 2-year green card to the 10-year green card, for filing for citizenship, going through a whole lot of things that delayed us, but God did it. God did it, and he was sworn in June 13 as a United States citizen. That let me tell you something. Y'all already said people always think I'm becoming a citizen all over again. It's going to be 10 years this September that I've been a citizen, but for it's sewing, this is the best immigration lawyer in town. Thank you. I celebrate my clients. I'm just into it. And, when he sent me that photo, I was like, what? I was in the middle of my immigration conference. And I had Shola sitting here. It was like, he just became a citizen. Because, yeah, he just became a citizen. But we thank God. I celebrate with you. I thank God for you. Now pray that this is just going to be the beginning of many, many blessings to come your way. You ain't seen nothing yet. God is going to surely embarrass you with favor and abundance. And thank you for trusting me through the process. I've gained a brother, basically. So, yeah, and he's single for y'all. He's single. Now, don't be looking for someone to file for you. He's looking for wife for real, because I'm going to help you. We're going to weed everyone that's not looking for love out. But anyway, okay, so if you're, everyone we're talking about, so please subscribe and then follow us on our pages and all that. We'll appreciate that. So let's get right into it. Breaking news: Biden immigration parole in place. Thank you. Parole in place. What is it, and who does it apply to? So you already know. I feel like, because I used to be an adjunct professor for how many years was she sharing for? 4 years. So I love to teach. So this is what I usually consider this like we're learning. So let's come in together and understand let's start with who it does not apply to, so that you know whether or not it's something you can even apply for. It does not apply to those who came into the country legally. So it does not apply if you came into the country legally. This new parole in place is not applicable to you. You're not eligible for that. End of story. There's no, there's just no way. There's no exception around that. So if you came in with a visa, you came in through the port of entry, but you've got a visa, you were paroled in, this is not applicable to you. So you cannot benefit from this. This is applicable to those who came in without inspection. What does that mean? You basically went through the border without any documentation, no visa, no parole documents, or you crossed over without being detected. Those are the ones that are going to benefit from this parole in place amnesty program. So, for instance, if you came in legally, even if you've overstayed, you get married to a citizen, as long as you came in legally, you are eligible to adjust status. If you fall in that bracket, this parole in place program does not apply to you. You're not eligible, because the program itself, the goal of that program is to get these people who are in this group that qualify into the position you're in the sense of being seen as coming in legally. That's the whole point of the parole in place. So parole in place, this program is going to be applicable to immigrants who are currently in the United States and have been in the United States for at least 10 years as of June 17, 2024. They've been in the United States for at least 10 years as of June 17, 2024. They are married to U.S. citizens. If you're married to a legal permanent resident, not applicable to you. Married to U.S. citizens, been in the country for at least 10 years as of June 17, 2024. So if your 10-year mark is coming up after yesterday, which was June 7, 2024, you don't qualify. And you are still married to that citizen. It doesn't matter how long you've been married to the person. As long as your spouse is a U.S. citizen, you're married to the person, You're still married to the citizen. You came into the country without documentation, and you've been in the country for at least 10 years as of yesterday. You've got no criminal record or anything that's going to prevent you from being eligible for this program. If you fall within that category, those are the people who will qualify and who will benefit from this parole in place. Let me stress this. The president just announced that today. He just announced it today. Please understand that there's still the possibility of the Red Party, you already know who they are, to bring lawsuits or challenges or whatever the case may be. There's nothing that he has announced that changes the law. The Immigration and Nationality Act stays the way it is. This does not change anything. This is still something that is, what is the word I'm looking for? Absorbed into what the law is saying. But rather than, so I'll give you a perfect example. When someone comes into the country without inspection, they're no parole, they have no documents, they cross the border, they get married to a U.S. citizen, and the U.S. citizen spouse files an I-130 on their behalf, right? When that I-130 is approved, because that person did not come into the country legally, then they would have to now file what we call a 601A waiver of the unlawful presence they have acquired because they came in without documentation. Wait for that waiver to be approved. Upon approval of that unlawful presence provisional waiver, then they have to leave the country, go to an embassy consulate, and then apply for an immigrant visa. Hope that everything goes well, and come back in. That's usually that's the process we have in place for those with married to citizen without inspection. What this Parole in Place program is going to do is eliminate the need for such people to leave the country and have to, or apply for a waiver and have to leave the country and then get the immigrant visa. So they will be, as long as they satisfy all the requirements already listed, they will be able to apply for the Parole in Place, and they will be given I-94 documents that will be as if they actually came in legally. Once you qualify and you're given the I-94 document and you fall within that, then that means that when you're, if for instance, those who have an I-130 that's been approved, they now will become eligible to apply for the green card applications themselves, and without having the need for a waiver of the lawful presence, and be able to get a green card. That's what this whole thing is about in a nutshell. If you, as the undocumented immigrant that came in without inspection, have children who also are in that position, and so basically stepchildren of your citizen spouse, and those children are unmarried under the age of 21, they also will qualify and benefit from this and be able to apply for the green card. That is what this is about. The second part of it is relating to DACA recipients. If you are currently on DACA, we're still waiting for, there's going to be additional information about that because we don't have a whole lot about it right now. So as time goes on, we'll have more information on that. What I know so far, and the best way to explain it is this: if you are on DACA, for the most part, you don't have any status, but you're legally allowed to stay. Oh, by the way, the Parole in Place is the way it's similar to DACA is it defers any removal and deportation. Basically, the person is not, as long as you qualify, you're given the Parole in Place. ICE cannot, DHS cannot place you in removal proceedings or deport you as long as you are still eligible for that. And so basically, you're good to go until you get your green card. So for those who are on DACA, as there's going to be additional information where DACA recipients will become the proposal, or the goal is to give DACA recipients waivers where if you have an employer that can sponsor you through employment route, or you're eligible for self-petition like an NIW or EB-5, if you got the money to do that, then you will become eligible to apply to adjust the petition and then adjust your status based on the waivers that DACA recipients will be allowed to apply for. Those specific waivers, that's something we will talk about as they become clear. I don't want to give you information that I don't have full knowledge about. That's what we have as far as the DACA recipients and how that's going to play It's going to be geared specifically towards being able to get sponsorship through the employment route and being able to being eligible to apply for waivers of the unlawful presence or any other ground. Now, both that and the parole in place, even if you qualify, every applicant is still going to be required to meet, not only the criminal background check, but you must not have any other inadmissibility issues when it comes time to adjust status. So the fact that you're going to be seen as coming in legally does not waive every other issue. So this is basically taking care of the unlawful presence, coming in illegally, and eliminating the need for citizen spouses to not have to leave the country just because they came in illegally, or DACA recipients who came in without documentation, for them not to actually be able to benefit from employers who are willing to sponsor them. So that's that in a nutshell. Mr. Bennett, was funny. Let's see, I must have missed something. Okay, so that's it, people. I know it's a long, but that's a condensed version. I hope that actually explains it okay. I guess we'll see. So let's see what questions y'all have. Let me start with hello, Ms. Giwa. How are you? If you're just joining us, I get questions at the end of what we just talked about, the topic, or we do questions. Put your questions in the comment section. Please do not repeat your questions. I'll try to get to as many questions as possible. Hello, Danimola. How are you? And if you repeat your questions, I'm going to skip right through it. And a reminder, this is a positive space. If you have anything negative to say, you are gone. And disclaimer, general information, nothing specific to your case. And by the way, we do represent immigration clients in all 50 states. I got one of my trademarks completed today. I'm telling you, trademark is not even funny. But I'm a lawyer. I'm a businesswoman. What can I say? But God has been faithful. So, and every Tuesday and Thursday, hello, Miss Abin. Thank you for being everywhere. All right. I'm doing well, Miss Giwa. How are the kids? Please share. Yes, please share this video. So I think a lot of people are, I try to simplify and clarify things because, immigration policies are a dime a dozen, but everyone wants to know, do I benefit? So if you don't fall within the specifics of what I just described, it's not going to be applicable to you. That's just what it is. Okay. Mr. Kelvin, everybody on Facebook and YouTube is saying congratulations to you. He deserves it. He has, I'm telling you. So, there's some clients who he didn't drive me crazy. So that's a blessing, but he's a good man. It really is a good man. And he's going to make a wonderful father. Mr. Kevin, I'm ready to make sure I'm the matron of honor. That's all. Sammy, congratulations. Hello, Mr. Sammy. Everyone is saying congratulations, Mr. Kelvin. Oh, you just bought a house in Tuscaloosa? Is it in Tuscaloosa? Congratulations. This is what being an immigrant is all about. Hello, Miss Tina. I sent you an email earlier and I'm sure you got it. Yeah, this is what just being able to come to this foreign land and succeed. And please let me say this. Like I said, we had a case that was denied. I wasn't expecting it. But I'm it's good to have. I'm an attorney that does not do safe cases. I get bored. I have attention span of a 2 year. I take very risky cases. Go figure. I'm Nigerian. So, like Miss K last week, that was one of the very risky cases that the green card came today. Even I was like, okay, God did it. Like, so some cases every single case is sent out with God, but that one was like, I needed a miracle and he came through. That's I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't drink coffee, nothing. That is my adrenaline rush to see those cases are like, ugh, this is a doozy. I tell you, what the chances are, but because I know that everybody deserves a chance. I can never guarantee an outcome, but at least you would know that when you look at your file, Like, okay, can you, what else could have been done? And I'm hoping that every single client is able to say, that's all that could have been done. But that I would take cases that we just have to wait and see. So I say all that to say this, and that's what I had to tell myself, because I take denials very personal. I don't know how other attorneys, because I have met a lot of colleagues. You can imagine we're over 4,000 people virtually and in person in Chicago. You know, the American Immigration Lawyers Association is the largest and most renowned immigration lawyer association in the world. So that's, our fees are crazy, but it's worth every penny, because I cannot tell you the wealth of information that you get, not only from those conferences. We've got chapters, we've got committees, we've got, tons and tons of materials. It's worth it. So, in that, you meet a lot of colleagues, and we're trained to, like, you can't be emotional. You just got to move on. Okay, you've done your best and move on. I'm just kind of different, because I know that I've gone through this. So it's somebody's life. And if it's going to affect somebody's life, I don't know how you can dissociate yourself from that. You can kill yourself, but at the same time, it takes me a moment. But I always tell myself, like, okay, what's the next step? You can't sit down like, what is me? Okay, you're here in this country. What's the next step? What are the options? What is the way to go? Let's figure out what other options you've got. And so just believe that if things are not looking like they're working out well, God remains undefeated. God remains undefeated. So that means that if he has brought you here, you're going to succeed. 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸, you're going to succeed. Just the worst thing you can do is to give up. As long as you don't give up, you'll be fine. Okay. Good to know. Does that mean VAR cases too? Arlene, what do you mean by VAR cases? What do you mean by VAR cases? All right. Let me go. Ghanaian White in Tuscaloosa. God is good. God is really good. Congratulations. T-Town. Congratulations to you and your hubby. That is just amazing. I pray that you will bring, you have many blessings in your home for years to come. Okay, let's see. Hello, Mr. Ovioma. I sent you a response to your email. Make sure you check it. And if you're waiting on an email from me, please give me till Friday. I was out the whole last week, and I've got, y'all don't even understand, I've got, I think it was 1,700 emails. So just bear with me. So I'm just sifting through what needs, those cases that need deadlines and all that. So this is not going to be so Alvin. This is going to be a whole lot of let's just hold on. So be patient with me. Hello, Miss Jocelyn. How are you? Should you worry about Trump if you came legally, overstayed, and have a pending case by eligible petitioner? Trump is not going to change what the immigration law is. All those craziness he did during that time were about policies, but he's not going to change immigration law. Now, what you should worry about is in policies like this. If he comes in, then he can actually retract it back. So I say that to say this: if you're a citizen and come November you're sitting at home, especially if you're an immigrant and you came from another country, you're a naturalized citizen and you do not vote. My oldest kid, SJ, is 19. So this is going to be his first presidential election, God willing, in November. We're going to vote together because you've got to start early. You've got to make your voice heard. So that's what I would just say. If you want things like this to continue, and you're a citizen and family members are going to benefit from it, especially look at this. Okay. Tribute to everything is police motivated. So let's call this because he could have done this like 4 years ago, like 3 years ago. He could have done this. Why months before the election? Let's call it spade a spade. That's it. But if you have a citizen spouse and that spouse now knows that if you get this parole in place, you get an I-94, makes it as if you came in legally, and you don't have to leave. They don't have to worry about being separated from you. You better believe that person is going to vote for Biden. It's all calculated. Let's truth be told, but it still benefits you as a citizen. So that is a factor you have to consider. And please just vote wisely, because every single administration has an impact on immigration. That's just the truth. Okay. My husband is serving his permanent bar in Guatemala. Will this help bring him back sooner? No, because you've got to be physically present in the country as of yesterday for 10 years. So if you're not physically present in the country, this is not going to be eligible for them. Okay, let's see. Got married in September, entered on K1. We waited to file for AOS. Will filing be harder now? This doesn't affect anything you're going to be doing. As long as you came in, you married within 90 days, or if you didn't marry within 90 days, you're married and you file. It has nothing to do with your case. For the work visa, does the employer need to sponsor? I can't answer that because, like I said, when I was saying it, there isn't much information about that right now. So let's wait to get the information so actually we know what it entails. So, yeah. I've been living in LA for 8 years and have a diploma in medical office administration. My autonomous case is closed. So what's your question? A bachelor's in working on master's, no DACA, and an overstayed my tourist visa. Do I qualify? Based on what you just said, it doesn't look like this would be applicable to you. Once again, as far as the DACA recipients, dreamers specifically, as soon as we get additional information on that, then I will be in a better. The marriage part is very clear. The stepchildren part is very clear. That's already been. But the waivers, as far, okay, what waivers are DACA recipients going to be able to apply for? How would they now become, if you're not in any status and employment generally requires that you maintain status or you haven't been out of status for more than 6 months? How's that going to play out? We need to have all that information. Illegal entry. Well, if you term it that way, yes, that's basically coming in without inspection. Okay. My husband came through Mexico border. He is here for a year. I'm a citizen. We have kids. There is the requirement that the person has to have been in the United States for at least 10 years as of June 17, 2024. If your husband has not been in the United States for at least 10 years, this is not going to benefit him. I am on asylum. Is it possible for me to travel with parole? If you have a pending asylum case, you're eligible to apply for parole. Keeping in mind, however, that for asylum seekers, you must have a specific reason to apply for parole. You can't do it just like someone who has an AOS. It's got to be, a medical emergency, family member who's sick or terminally ill or about to die, employment reason, something specific, and you've got to be very specific where you're going. How about people who are doing vow for this new parole? How about that? What is the question on that? Can I apply for B2 visa for spouse while I-130 is pending? You cannot apply for them. They have to apply for themselves, and there's nothing that stops them. But keeping in mind, I-130 pending is going to be something to factor in whether or not they're going to grant them that visa. My mom is a U.S. citizen. Can she apply for me? We're both in the U.S. Once again, general information. It will depend on what category you fall under. If you're an adult, meaning you're 21 and over, and 21 years or older, Are you married? Are you unmarried? So that's something you want to sit down with the lawyer to discuss and figure out what your options are. Came on the K1. Came on the K1 visa, but fiance texted me to move on. When I got here, what do I do? Can go back to Africa. Sit down with the lawyer to figure out what your options are. Excuse me. Here is connected to the sides. It's on the sides on the hair. It's all black and white. You see that? Hello, Miss Nike. Thank you. Can't see. Will this apply to those with 2 illegal entries, married to U.S. citizen, and have DACA? So if it would depend on if there isn't going to be additional bars, because obviously there's usually you trigger a permanent bar when you have a re-entry after a first entry. It doesn't state that right now based on what has been released, so it's yet to be seen. But if you're married to a U.S. citizen and you've been in the United States for at least 10 years as of yesterday, no criminal record, so I think it's yet to be seen how this is going to be applied as applications start to roll. Keeping in mind that this is great, but hopefully the prayer right now is for those who are going to be affected and benefit, that the other party doesn't start something that's going to now put an injunction on it. And the anticipated effective date it's projected to be sometime at the end of the summer season. How about someone who came in with inspection and overstayed? This doesn't apply to you if you came in with inspection and overstayed. Okay. Where does the time go? My husband will be here 1 year. It's already 1 year. Ghanaian wife, like 1 year next one. Are you serious? Are you eligible if you married to a citizen and came in by 2022? Y'all just want to be funny. I think I've said like 10 years as of yesterday, like 20 times now, right? Like, I think I have that you have to be present in the country for at least 10 years as of yesterday. Because if I calculate that, 2022 would be 2 years. So 210. Yeah. So that's why I started with the very first thing I said is who does not benefit from this Parole In Place. If you came in legally, you do not benefit. So, because look at it this way. This is geared towards those who were married to citizens and came in illegally, so that they will be put in place, and this Parole In Place, no pun intended, will put them in place as if they came in legally, right? They will become eligible to apply for work permit, but once they get the I-94, then that becomes a paroled status where the spouse that person can now, based on an I-130, file adjustment of status. It's the same thing that someone who came in legally, married to a U.S. citizen, is able to do right now without any limitation. My mom came here pregnant with me. Will I be able to file for her now? She has this has nothing to do with parents. What about someone who has been here over 20 years, working, homeowner, paying taxes? Are you married to a citizen? Okay. All right. Let's see. Let me go on Instagram. Let's see. Where's TJ? TJ's with his dad. TJ Olalay, as it says. That's my kid. What's your last? I said Olalay. Galeti Olalay. That's what we call me, though. Let's see. It's good to be back for sure. It's the Yoruba for me. It's Bumi. That's okay. Hey, listen. Hello, Island Gal. How are you? Bumi Kigbaki. Everyone. Good evening, everyone, to the most positive immigration space on social space. Share with your friends and family follow. Thank you. Okay. Mr. Kelvin, I hope you've seen all the congratulatory messages on here. Yeah, crazy as it sounds. So once I get off, one of my clients texted me there's something that is bothering him, even though it's going to be about 10 p.m. or past that is time. Once we are done, I'm going to still call that client before this night. I'm crazy like that because it's important that he hears from me and we address what is worrying him because I know he's not going to have a good night's sleep. So whatever it is that we can address this night until we get more information, that's what we're going to do. And it doesn't take anything to do that. Now there's some days I cannot, but really it doesn't take anything to do that. Okay, let's see. All right, so y'all don't have a lot of questions on Instagram, so that's good. Oh, hold on. I missed that. Trust system to drive it. What was it? What was it? Y'all. Okay, I must have missed that Miss Athena. What was it y'all said? And trust system to drive it like she drives other businesses. She doesn't drive what? Y'all fill me in because what's our consultation fee? I gotta always think about it. 140 30 minutes, 210 45 minutes, 250 1 hour. Is it possible to apply for travel parole on an OPT EAD? No. OPT EAD is F1 status. So you're going to travel with your F1 visa. That reminds me of something. I have my H1B cases. I have deadlines coming up. If you have a work authorization denied, does this law apply to them too? No. This video is going to be off, so if you guys want to just go back and play it, I think I tried to make it as explanatory as possible to be very specific for those who it applies to. So if you play it back, is it possible to apply without a lawyer if someone cannot afford to hire a lawyer? Obviously, you're not going to, as a lawyer, I'm not going to tell you go ahead and apply for something without a lawyer, but there's some things you can apply for without a lawyer. So if you want to go ahead and do that, I just remembered something else. So somebody's in there reminding something. He would definitely find a good wife, amen. Hey, and Mr. Kelvin, from their mouth to God's ears on your behalf. I'm proud of you, my sis. Thank you, Finest Shandy. Do you have an idea how long it would take to file for my mom from Nigeria? I can't speculate on that. So, I filed for my ex-mother-in-law. We're doing the embassy stage now. See how God works. Look at how God works. But using that timeline, we're seeing on the USCIS side to be less than a year. Some, I think I've had cases 7-8 months. On the embassy side, a whole lot of factors go into deciding that how quickly you can get the documents, to become documentary qualified. And I'm seeing that for parents and spouses of citizens, those interviews are being scheduled earlier than other categories. But I can't give you. Would you look messy? You're about word. Hey, listen, tomato. We know last week was Lee. Please bear with me as a respond. Thank you, Finance Jenny. Please bear with me. Mo Shako. So much of things. They're about to send like 200 emails within that's it off me. Because much of yeah, y'all have to understand. For instance, today we had to deal with, and for me, people are someone of like, can't you have your assistant send my EAD? No, I cannot. I'm responsible for it. Is besides the fact that I have OCD, I've had an issue before where an assistant sent an EAD to the wrong person, and so for me, that is always in my brain. I've got to see it. I've got to know that I know it. I'm checking your address, what you gave us, and I people working for me does not mean that I'm not responsible for what is being done. So there's some things I just don't delegate that I'm not too busy to take care of. And if your EAD gets missing, if your green card gets missing, then we're dealing with having it's a whole lot. So just wait, Yeah. Can a green card holder file for a husband? And how fast can it be? Green card holder can file an I-130 petition for a spouse. How fast can it be? Person time, USCIS.gov/person time. It will give you how long it's taken. The main thing is, or you want to understand that by the time it's approved, your husband has to maintain valid status if they're here to become eligible to apply for their green card. How about those who divorced before yesterday? Oh, Lord Jesus, you just asked some questions. I'm like, okay, if you divorced for yesterday, that's should an F1 student who is due to renew the STEM OPT renewal, but has approved green card, EAD, and a pending I-40 application go ahead to renew? That's not a question I can answer. That's going to be up to you. If you're a client of mine, then that's different. But I can't give you advice on that because that's too specific to your case, without knowing your background and the facts surrounding your case. Let's see. Hello, Anthony Sennett. How are you? I came to the US with visa 10 years ago and I'm not married to anyone. Am I eligible? Okay, next question. I'm good. Just here praising God for Mr. Calvin. And we will praise God for you and everybody else, God willing. Okay. Thank you. Miss Peggy says, "What kind of question?" What if you came with someone's passport 20 years ago but married a U.S. citizen? That's a great question. I've got colleagues that would tell you that that's still a legal entry. As far as my research shows, and as far as I'm concerned, to me, that is an illegal entry. So that means you were not inspected. Because you were not inspected under your name, you're inspected somebody else's name. So as far as the U.S. government is concerned, your name is not anywhere showing that you came in legally. In that case, if I was representing you, we would definitely be applying for parole in place. What happens to those who filed? And let's say Trump wins, we ain't going to just speak things. We got to have life and death is in the tongue. You've got to speak what you want positively. And let's say Trump wins and tries to revoke Biden executive order. What happens to those spouses going through the process? Good question, but we're going to have to just wait and see because he's going to have a basis. Now, obviously, people are going to challenge him. So I'm assuming there will be some injunctions, court cases. Hopefully not. Let's just, let's live in the moment and celebrate that and hope for the best. You cannot be an immigrant and be thinking, yeah, it's logical to think, okay, what is a backup? But still embrace what is right now. Let's embrace what is right now and worry about that later on because sufficient for the day is the trouble thereof. Okay. All right. I think we got to through most of the questions. How one day left for 10 years. Are you serious? You gotta be kidding me. Oh my God. Yeah, I understand, Nick, but we can't worry about what the future holds. Then none of us will make it. I'm a I'm a recovering warrior. I can worry about anything, and if you've got like an OCD behavior, you can worry about. I mean, something anything crooked. Like for instance, if a picture is on the wall and is leaning a little bit to the side and it's not completely straight, and if my mama is on, she'll tell you. That worries my brain. I think that's why I'm still single. That worries like it's gotta be. So I know I tend to worry a lot. So for me, prayer has been a big part. Prayer has been, I think I'm that person. I just put my trust in God. That's always my saving grace. Because I can worry, but when I remember there's nothing that I can change with my worry. There's absolutely nothing that's gonna change. If anything, it's just going to make me sick. I just let it go and just know that the person who has created this word that's spoken into existence, he knows about the word even before it happens. So let's just leave it alone, right? Okay. So I think I got to most questions. So that's basically what's going on. As soon as we hear more, I try to update. Can I cancel the I-130 petition and apply for adjustment of status? What do you mean? Can you cancel the I-130 petition? What is your I-45 adjustment status going to be based on if it's not going to be based on the I-130? What is considered criminal record? DUI? I mean, you for the most part, it should be, as long as it's not something. There are a lot of offenses that will fall within the petty offense exemption. But if it's something that is classified under the crimes involving moral turpitude, especially if you're looking at more than 6 months jail time, even if you don't get to jail, it's long if you're sentenced to that, but even if it's suspended or something that falls in the aggravated felony category, it just depends. Y'all understand, we just got the policy released today. So there's going to be a lot more information coming, especially when it goes into effect and then you start to apply. USCIS most likely will still release something that will be like a guide that gives us exactly what needs to be done. And so just, hang in there. But just to know whether or not you qualify, if you don't fall into what we've already discussed, then there's no point. Just keep pursuing the other options that you're eligible for. And that's really all I can say at this point. Okay. What happens with those being in process with the 601A? Will it be faster? So with the 601A, which is what you usually would file in this scenario, right? If you are someone who falls within all that, who satisfies all the requirements, you've been here 10 years as of yesterday, married to a U.S. citizen, came in without inspection, no criminal, you've been able to pass a background check, and you're still married to that citizen, then I see it. I have quite a bit of I-601A pending, and it takes forever. So I see a situation where we would have to withdraw those waivers because we won't need that anymore. Because the whole point is to be able to go out. But if you're getting paroled in and you're getting a document, then it actually defeats the whole purpose. So I see quite a bit of those waivers being withdrawn. And if you do not fall within the criteria of this parole in place, then your 601 still is going to stand, and it's just going to go out. This has nothing to do with the processing time of a pending application. Right now, that could change. But anyway, okay, everyone. I think we got through a whole lot. So, like I said, I still have someone that I have to call tonight, make sure he is fine. I am tired. First day back at work, got a whole lot. And so, but it's all good. What about if you're not married to a citizen and it's been more than 10 years? Sorry, just joined. Natural and blessed. It would be great to watch the the video, so it will be up. But one of the requirements is that you're still married. USC has approved my friend. We're back with the friends. Yo, I have to find new friends because I don't know anything about my friends' immigration cases. I don't ask them; they don't tell me. And I always tell all my friends, if you're my friend, don't ask me for any immigration advice because you're gonna pay to speak. And that the truth be told, my friends actually do pay if they have immigration questions and they need me to represent your family members, whatever. Because I want friends that support my business and support my growth. I don't need friends that want free and doing free service. So I don't have friends that just tell me a whole lot. But let's see, Mr. T, let's see what the friend is telling you. I-130 approved, permanent resident form I-45 denied. Could it be because her spouse is still on 10 years green card resident? That your friend needs to sit down with a lawyer to figure out why. Okay. So help us tell your friend that that's what needs to happen. So I love friends like that. But anyway, thank you everyone for always coming through each night. Could anyone stop this? I like Congress. Is it confirmed? It's not. Keep in mind. So there are obviously opponents are already coming up and saying that he wants to change the law and all that. This is only something that should go through legislation and all that. Please understand that part of President Biden's cabinet and advisory committee includes immigration professors, immigration experts, immigration lawyers. He's not going to do something that the law does not allow him to. But the fact that the law allows, so it's a policy, it's an executive order, which he's allowed to, just like Trump decided to do a visa ban all over, he was able to do that because it was an executive order. It didn't change anything. So this is similar to that. It doesn't mean that, there won't be opposition to it. It just means that there's nothing that he has pronounced that he wants to do that's going to change what the Immigration and Nationality Act says. Could he have done it much earlier? Absolutely. He's been there 3 years. Come on now. If you really want to do something, why are you waiting 3.5 years? Why are you waiting till election year? This is all calculated. But does he help people? Yes. Now, truth be told, the estimated number of people he's going to help is just going to be about 500,000 people. There are over 12 million undocumented immigrants in the United States. Most of my clients that I represent, mainly from Africa, from the Caribbeans, represent other people. That's where most of my clients are from. Most of those clients come in with some kind of legal documentation. So, if that's number one. If you already came in legally, that you can already count yourself out. But we'll just keep going and see what immigration policies are there for us. So anyway, good to be back. Missed you all last week. Let's just keep, surrounding each other with positive vibes. My AILA conference went well. Thank you. Yeah, it was good. It was long, but it was good. It was 8 o'clock to 5 p.m. the whole week. But it was worth every second of it. Now, and they gave us breakfast, but they didn't give us lunch. So that was my only issue because I had to go find not do water song. I was very sore about that, but it's okay. But just don't lose faith. Let's keep going. Things will look up for us, and remember that God speaks on our behalf. We may not know. You're gonna ask, but you already know me on food, right? Because I already said, listen, I don't diet, I don't work out. That God keep helping me because I think my brain works out, so that's why I'm even surprised I'm not like because I eat a lot. I eat. Let's just see. No, pictures are well decorated. No, it's not. So I work for the state of Alabama as well as one of the deputy attorney generals. That's Alabama that feeds us. It's Alabama that, the government's money. Those are the ones who actually feed us good food. So I usually don't miss that, but private associations and that didn't feed us nothing. But one thing I just want everyone to take, and this applies to me. In spite of everything, God remains undefeated. And as long as God remains undefeated, then that means our battle is not lost. It's not over. And as long as God remains God, he's going to remain undefeated. And it's because I know that for a fact and remains true, it means that no matter what is going on, our circumstances will change. It just depends on, are we going to be patient enough to let him do what he knows how to do best. And so don't lose hope. Failure is when you give up. As long as you haven't given up, then we're good to go. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Have a